Good morning, my lovelies. Welcome back to my channel, Melly's Yarn and Book Adventures. My name is Melly, and this is the channel where I talk about everything that is knitting, crochet, sewing, fiber, spinning, and craft related, and books. Now, don't forget to follow me on my other social media, Instagram, at Goya Snow. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to leave me a comment down below to let me know. Have a little chat. I'm feeling a little rough this morning, so I'm gonna make it a quick one. There's not really much to tell you, except I do have something new to show you. Still working on the same sock patterns. Sock number 1, sock number 2, but yesterday, or not yesterday, so yesterday was Tuesday. Monday I ordered some higher sharps DPNs from Amazon because I think I'm a DPN hoarder or something. I have a whole full set of ChowGo DPNs. I have almost a full set of Knit Pro, because in the US it's Knitter's Pride, so it's Knit Pro. DPNs and the colorful ones. I have from 2 to I think 5. So like the first half of the set. I have Leica needles. I have Prim DPNs. I have Arrow DPNs, vintage Arrow DPNs. I think I'm a DPN hoarder basically. But I was watching Paula from Stitch by Mrs. D, and she uses, she uses, anyway, let me finish that sentence. She uses higher steel, not the sharps, but I couldn't find just the regular ones and like the size I wanted, so I got the sharps. If you can see, they're not that sharp. They are pretty sharp, but they're not like, they remind me of the Leica points. They're not as sharp as, they're sharper than ChowGo, for sure. But it's fine. I haven't gotten a hole in my finger yet, so, it's fine. I actually really like them. So I started, a while ago, I had done in one of my Facebook knitting groups, I think it was not last Christmas, not this past Christmas, maybe the Christmas before. They were doing like a Wish Wednesday type thing. And at the time, I didn't have a lot of sock yarn. And I was like, to me, it was like, oh, this is like sock yarn in my local, like Michael's. It was expensive to me, because I wasn't like familiar with non-acrylic yarn, basically, I guess you could say. Price wise and like brand wise, I like knew of companies that made them, but I wasn't familiar. So anyway, and the sock yarn I did have, I had bought to make Christmas socks. I had not bought myself any. So my wish was, I wish I had a ball of sock yarn or 2 balls of sock yarn to make myself a pair of socks. So one of the lovely ladies sent me 2 balls of Fable drops. I think it's Drops Fable in this colorway. And I was putting it off using it, I actually got to find the second ball. It's somewhere in my basket. But this is how it's turning out. They're very nice to work with. I don't have a problem working with them. I don't have a problem working with them, definitely. I like them. I'm not going to buy any more of them. I might buy a 2.5 eventually, but I won't do that like right now. But what am I doing? I'm still doing this wrong. Oh, God. You can tell it's a rough morning. You can tell it's a rough morning. I don't know why I'm just knitting. I'm not knitting. It's not knitting time. Oh, wait. Maybe it is. Hold on. I need to... Ooh, I need to look at this. What am I doing? No, I am knitting. Yeah. So, like, I have no issues with these. They're not too slippery. They're not too, they have a nice finish. They're not super, super, I guess, if I compare them to my, say, my Drops Classic. Let me see if I can find. Let me compare. I'm going to do a compare shot. Let me just make sure I'm not going to pull anything out of anywhere that shouldn't be pulled. Okay. Okay, so let me finish this row and then I will show you what I'm talking about. Shake, shake, shake. So now, yeah, I was just watching a video before. And that song was in a video and now it's stuck in my head. Anyway. So this is, I keep forgetting I flipped the camera. This is my Hiya Sharp. Are you gonna focus? It's hard to see. You can see it's a very tapered point. And these are my Drops Classic DPNs. You can definitely see a difference in the points. Now, if I was to go and get definitely a difference in the points. I think Chalgu are more similar to Drops DPNs, which is fine. Again, I have DPNs, and basically it's really just I don't know why. Like, I have different brands of DPNs and different materials. I don't have plastic. Yeah, no, they're metal. I have wood and I have metal. I have Leica. Knit Pro, Chalgu, Drops. I have Knit Pro Basics. But I don't like those because there's no sizing on them. And it's just a plain green. I mean, plain gray metal. Which reminds me of the Arrow DPNs. So let's see, what did I say? I have Leica, Chalgu Set, Knit Pro Basics, and Drops Classics Drops Pro Classic. And now I have these, along with a couple 9 inches in Chalgu, Knit Pro, Hiya Addy. So yeah, I have quite a sock selection because, as you know, when to me, it's about having the right tool at the moment. So yes, they all do the same job, but they all feel different in the way of, they're all pretty basic weight similarities. It's just more of, I like working with this one more sometimes, and depending on the yarn. Basically, whatever yarn I'm using is like, oh, you know, I think this needle will work better with this yarn because maybe of the finish or the way I don't know. Just, it's like, oh, I feel like using this brand today. Why? I don't know. Like, who knows? But again, I'm not sponsored in any way by any of these companies. I'm just telling you that I am a DPN hoarder and seem to like collect different brands of DPNs. It's nice to have. Now, like, the only ones I have, like, obviously I have multiples of the same size now. But again, I now have 3 pairs of socks on the needles. And when before, I could only do 1 pair of socks at a time. And I was doing, 2 at a time concurrently on whatever, which is another good reason to have multiple pairs. But everything basically, to me, I'm learning. I'm learning what I like. I'm learning as a knitter and a crocheter and a crafter. There's always learning. There may be, like I learned, I like my 9-inch circulars, but my hands do not like my 9-inch circulars. I like them. They worked for a while for me, which is fine. I think I like the Child Glue 9-inch better than the Haya because the Haya ones, they're shorter needles. And I think that was my issue. But I seem to have wanted to go back to DPNs. I like the feel of knitting on DPNs. That's just my thing. Every knitter, crocheter has a preference. For example, when I started getting back into crochet a couple years ago, I didn't really have good, well, I'm not going to say good, because I had Boy, and Boy is a good brand. It's been around forever. But I didn't, like, my hands would tire because they're a pretty hefty needle. And at this time, the Clover and More had come out, and, like, everybody was raging on it. So, like, every day, every payday, I would go to Michael's. Or, no, I'm sorry, I was AC Moore at the time. It was before I worked there. And I would purchase one size. So I have almost every, I think I have 3 up until 7, 8, 9. No, I have 3 millimeters or 3.5 millimeters up until 9 millimeters. And then I have Knit Pro crochet hooks that I've recently, in metal. I have Susan Bates needles. I really like the Susan Bates crochet hooks with the bamboo handle. But they're hard to find. I have Prim crochet hooks. I have vintage crochet hooks for my mom. They're not that vintage. I think they're like from the 80s. So like that brand, I think it's Boy. But I have a few that are like, I have a Hero one. I think I might have an Arrow one, and it just doesn't say Arrow on it. I'm not quite sure, but it looks like an Arrow crochet hook. And that's like my favorite crochet hook. Like I have many different types of knitting needles and crochet hooks. That's just my thing. And the same thing goes with drop spindling. I started out with a kit, and I bought a Kromsky. Kromsky was a little too heavy to actually spin for me, at least as a beginner. So I used that to ply. And that works really great for that for me. But I have Snyder spindles and a Turkish spindle. I have one that says the original antisocial tool, something like that. It's got a picture of a virus on it, like one of those. It's hand carved, whatever. Like I have I probably got about 5 or 6 drop spindles. Because why? Depending on the mood and how I want to spin. Do I want a top whirl? Do I want a bottom whirl? Do I want a Turkish spindle? Do I want a Deligan? Because I have one of those too. I was basically, when I was learning how to spin, I was trying to find what I liked. And that's basically what crafters do. They're always looking to find things that they're comfortable working with. You may like one brand of, say, yarn one day, and then all of a sudden it changes, something about it changes, whether it be manufacturer, the way they make it, the way they spin it, something about it, and you decide it's not for you anymore. Like, I used to love Red Heart yarn. And Red Heart is a, US made acrylic. I used to like Red Heart yarn to work with. It wasn't rough. It was soft. And I'm talking about the original Red Heart, not like the Red Heart Soft or any other of their brands under Red Heart or the other yarn lines. I'm talking about the original Red Heart Saver or Super Saver, or even just the regular Red Heart. But I've noticed in years past, it's depending on the dye, the color. Some are rough and some are not. They're not soft, but they're rough, or stiff, kind of ropey feeling to me, like very stiff and dense, like, So I try to shy away from Red Heart. But if like I see a color I like I've noticed the Red Heart, like the multicolor ones, are stiffer than, say, like the solid colors. So I try to stay away from that. I haven't bought Red Heart in a good minute, and I think I might buy some just to, see how it goes. But like, I've gotten Red Heart before. I have Red Heart down my in my stash. I think I still have Red Heart. But yeah, like, as crafters, we tend to like certain things, or we tend to use one thing and then something happens and we don't use that anymore because maybe something about it has changed, brand wise, color wise, dye wise, whatever. We're ever growing and learning as a crafter. I like Lion Brand yarn. Like, I think Lion Brand yarn is great. It really just is personal preference. So basically, like, my DPN hoarding obsession is not a hoarding obsession, because obviously I'm not going to keep buying them. I found the brands that I like to use. I already have them. I'm not going to continue to purchase multiple brands. I have an interchangeable set. I have straights, which are my arrows. I have DPNs. I'm good. I'm set. I can only knit so much at a time anyway. So, well, let's see. So I guess that's it for now. I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed our little chat about, or my little chat about what I like to work with and my preference. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your preference of needles or crochet hooks or yarn or crafting supply is. And let's have a conversation and why you like it. So don't forget, like, subscribe, share, and let's have a discussion. Talk to you later. Bye.